When I was in 3rd grade, my elementary school class took a field trip up to Oregon's state capital in the city of Salem. At that point, I had just discovered and become a fan of Transformers. I remember watching the original series on my family's home computer. So imagine my shock when I look out the school bus window and see the Constructicon Long Haul sitting on a hill beyond the green fence. Bright neon green color scheme, purple insignia. It was unmistakably him. It was only 2 hours north of my childhood home, and I had a lot of family who lived up in northern Oregon. We would drive this route a lot, and I would always make a point to look for Long Haul for the entire rest of my childhood every time we made this drive. But what is it? Why is it there? Who put it there and when? Today, I intend to bring you the answers to the questions I've asked my entire life. Let's unravel the mystery of the mysterious Long Haul of the Pacific Northwest. Over the summer, I moved away from my home state of Oregon. I also made a big documentary about Gravity Falls Cipher Hunt on my big channel, which took me to the Enchanted Forest Amusement Park, which is about 3 minutes north of Long Haul on the same little back road, Enchanted Way. So while I still had time in that state and while I was in the area, my friend and I decided to check it out. Okay, now the age-old question, is there an insignia on the other side of this truck or just that one side?
Ooh.
Let's find out. There is not.
No.
Lore inaccurate.
Yay! We did it. It was someone on TikTok compiled all the Troy and Abbott. Oh, Troy and Abbott in the morning. It just used it to do outfit checks and stuff.
So is licking the side of it encouraged? By Long Haul. I messed up. Long Haul is displayed outside of the addressless PNP Quarry, a 41.21 acre parcel of land owned by PNP Properties LLC, according to Marion County surveyor data. You can see on Google Street View archives that this is regularly in operation, with hauling vehicles moving in and out. There's a phone number displayed on a sign on the front of the dump truck. I'd tried calling it multiple times to glean more information about the dump truck across a few days, but never heard back even after leaving a message. Luckily, someone before me had luck. In a 2012 Blogspot post by Lindsay Hoffman, which contains the main high-resolution images of the dump truck that exist on the internet, she called the phone number and briefly spoke to a woman. I was wondering about the big green dump truck at your quarry on I-5. What about it? What is it there for? To hold the flag. What about the big Transformers face on the side? What do you mean? We didn't change anything about it. I'm sure I would have gotten a similar response and dialogue had she picked up. Maybe she's tired of Transformers nerds asking questions about a rock quarry. I would have asked when they got the dump truck and when they put it there, but I'm left to my own devices to figure that out. The blog post ends wondering who applied the insignia, speculating it was applied at the same time as the green paint job. Only Long Haul knows, and he ain't talking. Lindsay mentions in her comments that she wasn't brave enough to open the door and climb in the cab. I was brave enough to at least try, but the door is locked, likely to protect people from getting squished inside if Long Haul were to transform into robot mode. Also, a comment on the post mentions Enchanted Forest costing $9.25 in 2012. It is $30 now. The price has tripled and it's barely been a decade. Come on. It's gonna be $100 to get into Enchanted Forest in 40 years. So if the insignia wasn't applied by the PNP Quarry, who put it there? Was it maybe applied by a previous owner who sold it to PNP Quarry? As a kid, I always imagined there was some mysterious old man who had painted 6 construction vehicles to resemble the Constructicons and then sold them all off, scattering them around the world. And I was determined to find them all like Infinity Stones. I talked to the YouTuber Theorymus about this, and he actually immediately recognized this dump truck from an old childhood video he watched, which I had never heard of before. Apparently, in the lead up to Transformers Revenge of the Fallen from 2009, 2 men went up to this dump truck and pretended to be on the set of the movie, tricking young elementary school Theorymus.
We just broke in on the Transformer 2 set, right? Y'all been hearing the rumors that the Constructicons are gonna be in the movie? Well, here it is.
Ooh, they got the bullet shots on the windows and everything, man. They've been through war already.
As you can see, Michael Bay is staying in the trailer right there behind me. And you can see that the other Constructicons are ready to get painted. You see they're yellow right now, right?
I made a post the day I visited Long Haul. Oregonian Transformers comic book artist Josh Burcham replied and said he remembered driving past it growing up. Josh was born in 1985. He grew up with Beast Wars, which premiered in 1996 when Josh was 11. That's why he was so excited to be the primary artist on that short-lived IDW Beast Wars reboot. So Josh gives us a loose time frame. This dump truck has been there for a while. Google Maps Street View imagery only dates back to 2007. And the earliest capture of Enchanted Way is from August 2009. The insignia is present. Google Earth satellite imagery tracks the dump truck going back years and years and years. It appears to have been installed there somewhere before 2000, but after 1994, which is evidently also the time frame that the quarry was established. And get this, P&P Properties LLC was filed on January 23rd, 1996, a mere 9 months before Beast Wars' debut. So the original G1 long haul started as Constructicon Vehicle Robo No. 5 from Diaclone, before Hasbro imported, renamed, and recolored it along with the rest of the team. His alt mode was a Hitachi DH321, an apparently super rare dump truck with very few existing photos. I can't find any information about this vehicle or when it was manufactured, although the Tomica wiki says that its 1/117th scale model toy was released in January of 1973 and retired in November of 1983. It has super speed and dumping action. This particular dump truck on the hill appears to be a Terex 3303B rock truck, which apparently sell for only $4,500, but it's close enough to clearly resemble long haul. Notably, all models of Terex 3303B and countless similar Terex vehicles share an identical shade of lime green, implying they came straight off the assembly line like this rather than being painted by a fan to resemble a C-tier Transformers character. In scouring the internet for information, I came across a Reddit post with a comment by user Nevitando on October 14th, 2018, which claims to have the answer. The truck was there for years and years prior to the decal being placed on it. The rock quarry had nothing to do with the sticker, and the color of the truck was just a happy coincidence. The decal was placed there one night, almost 20 years ago by a group of 3 20-year-old dudes. Dude 1 hatched the idea, Dude 2 knew a guy who could print vinyl stickers, Dude 3 was moral support. The dudes went out one night, and Dude 1 climbed up through the blackberry bushes at the bottom and stuck it on the door. The dudes are now in their late 30s and still laugh about it. A user called Evolution says, lots of information for someone to have, I think you may have been one of the dudes. And Nevitando replies, it's possible. All 3 of them read it, all 3 of them are from A-Town, but it's not my place to potentially dox other users. Ever the journalist, I reached out to Nevitando for comment many months ago, and I never heard back. While this could easily be a lie, it's a very specific lie, and a very plausible lie. They mentioned they were from A-Town. I have to assume that's the nearby city of Albany, although I've never heard it referred to as that. The timeline he proposes actually lines up perfectly. 20 years from 2018 was 1998, 2 years after the rock quarry was established in 1996. And while I certainly can't verify the story, I think that this person's account is probably the most likely scenario. Further corroborated by user Clanky Pants, who says the truck's been there for 2 decades, and it didn't have the Decepticon logo for the first few years it was installed before it got added later. I wish I could have given you a definite answer here. I wish I could have uncovered information that wasn't on the internet already. Like when I did my Cypher Hunt doc, or when I uncover information about Transformers Animated's 4th season, it was like, oh, Derek Wyatt gave this document to one person in 2011, and I've got to get it from a friend of a friend. You know, it was easier to track down all existing production materials from the development of the 4th season of Transformers Animated than it was to find any concrete evidence of who put a sticker on a dump truck. But here's what I personally believe happened. I think Nevitando and 2 friends snuck to this dump truck in the middle of the night in 1998 or 1999. They applied the decal, and the owners of the property never noticed it or thought anything of it. And there it sits, like 25 years later, still sparking joy and inspiring the imaginations of many young Transformers fans who drive past it, including myself. I don't live anywhere near this anymore, so I'm not really sure if or when I'll see it again. But if you ever find yourself in the Pacific Northwest, driving through Oregon, keep your eyes peeled for one very lonely Decepticon sitting on a hill. Maybe pay him a visit. And if you do, long haul make sure you're spared from the impending Decepticon invasion. I wanted to end this video with an elaborate CGI spectacle where Long Haul transforms behind me and chases me down a hill, and we would have filmed it like a movie, and I'd done an entire shitty previs of what it would look like. I was practicing the drone shots, but the name brand company wasn't sure if he could do it, and I didn't have anyone who was available to help me film that in that month. So that the idea kind of just fell apart, but you know, it could have gone hard. Use your imagination and just pretend that I did film it.
I'm sorry I did all those mean things to you.
It's okay, Long Haul from Transformers. I forgive you. I love you, Long Haul from Transformers. The end. I'm sure glad